You reach a large camp with dozens of humans, countless campfires, and several wagons in and around the camp. You notice traders and guardsmen with Mithridania's coat of arms, but also others that you don't know. You decide to take a look around the camp. All in all, the refugees are in bad shape, and you can't even see the slightest glimmer of hope in most of their eyes.
Ha! I know you, dwarf. You were in Mithridania. Ran off with your friends when things got tricky, eh? You're not such great orc killers, or you wouldn't have left Mithridania to its fate.
Oh.
We are dwarves, not gods. We did our best. No one could have saved Mithridania.
The fatigue that had disappeared from the man's face for a moment returns.
I hated that city with its wretched stench of fish. It's just so many dead.
We're headed to the old dwarf stronghold on the Red Range. Do you know the way?
You're going to travel through Snowdale so soon after winter? Good luck. And what are you hoping to find? There aren't any dwarves left in the mountains, I'm telling you.
We'll see. What about the old trading route?
The trader shrugs his shoulders.
Head west. There is only one road that leads into the mountains. If you've got a death wish, then you're heading the right way.
I can see some guardsmen from Mithridania here too. How did you escape?
The authorities ordered the guards to protect the city to the very last man, while they, the high society, made off unnoticed. When the guards and the townspeople saw them go, they dropped their weapons and ran. The quickest made it. Just a few dozen.
A few dozen. How many people could you have saved if you'd stayed? On the other hand, how many will die if you don't stop Nod on?
You're heading south. I wish you luck.
You don't think these people have much of a chance of survival, and a last look at the trader's face reveals that he doesn't either.
Wonder if I go back there, they'll let me. Stop it.
Heavy smoke is hanging over Mithridania. Depressed, you turn your backs on the ruined city and assure each other that there was nothing you could have done.
Did I go to Halington?
In the middle of the path in front of you, you see an upended wagon, but neither draft animals nor owner are in sight. You approach carefully, but still can't make anything out from close up, apart from a few arrows sticking into the side of the wagon.
Perhaps we should.
Before you can finish what you're saying, the screams of a woman come from the nearby woods. Without giving it much thought, you rush off towards the screaming. After a short sprint through the forest, you arrive at a small clearing. Standing in the middle of it is a woman in a simple peasant dress, who's being threatened by two armed men. You step forward confidently.
Hey!
The two men turn around immediately. The woman stands up too, and draws a weapon herself. 3 swords are aimed at you, and Nomura has some more bad news for you.
There are archers in the trees. It's a trap.
Hey! Give us your provisions, and your gold too!
We are seasoned dwarves and have killed hundreds of orcs. Do you want to see what Bögnilim here can do with his axes?
Your words seem to have completely floored the thieves. The woman answers for them.
You don't scare us, groundling.
You give Rodario a sign. He nods, gets into position, and then fires off a jet of flame from his sleeve in the direction of the thieves. Without another word, the thieves take to their heels and run into the forest.
Should we follow them?
Yeah, I follow.
Namora follows the thieves, while you wait in the clearing. As evening approaches, a figure appears next to you from out of the darkness.
Namora!
Fergus jumps up, and moments later has embraced her tightly.
Were you able to find out anything?
They didn't detect me and led me straight to their hideout. I can show you. It's a cave some miles from the path. Almost 4 dozen people, men, women and children.
You nod. You have tracked down the thieves' hideout. You can make out a cave in the bank of a dried-out riverbed, with several small fires burning in it. You don't see any guards, so you approach carefully. Men and women jump as they notice you. There is terror written in their emaciated faces. When a little girl screams and runs away from you, the whole camp is alerted, and a group of men and women step out of the cave.
Who are you?
The man resembles Tavia. His face too tells of a struggle between defiant determination and fatigue and resignation.
I am Gerald, Tavia's brother. I led these people here from Tabayin.
You look around you. You guess there are about 10 families, less than 50 people. Half of them are children and youths.
Aww.
Tabayin is a fertile country in the north, but much more importantly these days, it borders the Perish land to the east.
How are things in Tabayin?
Gerald's expression changes. It's as if he's looking through you.
The Perished Land is raging. It poisons the spirit, and those who become possessed by it just...
Gerald looks at his hands, which he involuntarily forms into claws.
They no longer recognize you. Brothers, mothers, children. Our brother-in-law. I had to...
With visible effort, he wrenches himself free of his terrible memories.
We can only hope that the Magi manage to build a new barrier soon.
You cannot bring yourself to quash the last hope he has.
Your people had no chance of throwing us off. As soon as Namora was on their heels, they had already lost.
What about Tavia? Where is she?
Tavia was caught and is locked up in Seaton.
She can be glad they didn't just hang her from the nearest tree. I did warn her.
Gerald tries but fails to completely hide his worry.
Tavia went to Seaton on her own initiative.
Our gold was gone and our supplies were dwindling, despite being on half rations. I said we should just take what we need if no one is going to help us, but my sister wouldn't have anything to do with it. She took the wedding jewelry from our village, the most valuable thing we had with us, and sold it without my knowing. She then took this money and went to Seaton with several men. I was completely beside myself when I heard about it, but then they came back with food and grain, and I thought they had really done it.
He laughs cheerlessly and shakes his head.
For a few minutes we thought we were saved.
What's wrong with the grain from Seaton?
We thought we finally had a change of luck for the better. We were praying for a new start, but then we discovered that most of the grain was rotten and unusable. They'd been ripped off by the bloody steward. We all got together and discussed what was to be done. The majority was in favour of going to Seaton and taking what was due, at any price. The next morning, Tavia disappeared. It was clear to me that she had returned to Seaton. We were going to give her a couple of days, and in the meantime, we prepared for our attack. We needed weapons, and we needed a plan.
The supplies and the grain, where are they?
Gerald glances at your companions.
The grain is mainly useless. There's only 4 or 5 usable sacks. We shared out the supplies and that'll keep us going for the next few weeks.
I'm not interested in the grain, but we need the supplies.
The grain is no good to us without the supplies. We'd starve before the grain has a chance to grow.
We should appease the people of Seaton. Give them back half their grain.
You raise your hand to nip Gerald's objection in the bud.
I'm of course talking about the rotten grain. You keep the good grain, we will receive at least part of our reward, and Morris will be forced to explain how his excellent grain could turn rotten so quickly.
Boindale stares at you. Then a grin slowly spreads across his face.
Ha! That's our scholar.
You see tired but happy faces all around you. The people breathe a collective sigh of relief.
We'll take half of the grain back in secret. Know this, good dwarf. Whenever you need help, we will stand by your side. We don't have much to offer you, but we can muster together a few strong arms for battle, and we have some outstanding archers.
You nod and are happy to have made some new friends.
Achievement! Righteous! You have put mercy before justice. I am a dwarf. I don't want to have these people fight orcs. I'd rather just do it myself, but I'd also die. I could have them help, and I think the miners offered 2, I believe, maybe.
We wouldn't ask if it wasn't important, but we need your help to destroy an orc stronghold.
Gerald nods.
We're in your debt. We'll send our 5 best archers.
5?
So long, my friend.
What we can do is 5. I have 8 people in my party.